Understand, teachers, caregivers, these processed foods, snacks are drugs. They are dope. Okay? So that means there's going to be a chemical reaction. There's going to be a withdrawal in this process of not having SNAP and EBT. I have compassion for the withdrawal that's coming. Okay? Pay attention to the fact that, yes, these kids are getting ready to get out of control, but so are the parents, the grandparents, and whoever else. I'm trying to figure out, like, on some real talk, just produce in general. What if I'm not able to get a certain, my watermelon, all that. So eating out of season and all this, we're spoiled. We spoiled, y'all. We so spoiled. We are spoiled. I think we just all need to tighten up. We all in trouble. But pay attention to these chemical reactions, right? Because ain't nobody gonna have money for their dope. They Pepsi, they, Snicker, their Skittles, their, cigarettes, whatever the vice is. We are spoiled. Sorry, I feel compassion for the children that are going through these evictions and lack of nutrients right now. And there are a whole host of cultures that were created that are kind of Jedi mind trick out here. Like, there's families that did not know that they were poor. There's children out here that had no clue. Their suburb lifestyle, they got to be, very, very picky and exclusive on what they wanted to eat. A lot of processed foods, very expensive things that the frugal person, if you're, like me, that do not have and haven't had the benefits in some time, the child that would come over that I used to be when I was young, I had no idea I was poor. Would come over and I don't eat that. I don't eat this. I feel sorry for the child that's forced into that. Like, wanting to have better skin and wanting to have longevity and wanting to be able to run with my great grandkids, and these desires forced me to think about food as medicine and start ingesting the things that were necessary for me. And I learned about Eat Right for Your Blood Type as a book. But I also went through holistic health and wellness trainings. I got introduced to holistics in a way that really bounced my health all the way up. And that was the Gerson therapy. But I wasn't satisfied with that information. It didn't seem to be tailored. And then I got a hold of Dick Gregory and started to really just dig into all of his work throughout his life, and had gotten his book and became a photographer through Senator Royce West has a internship called Emmett J. Conrad Leadership Program. So I participated in that, and I got an opportunity to work with Celebrity Bowl-a-thon Cheryl Smith. And that's how I became the photographer for Dick Gregory, which was a friend of hers. And she's running this event. She gives me her computer and her phone, and it's like, call Mrs. Gregory and see, what the changes are, this and that. So I had this whole cool experience based on that. But that experience with Dick Gregory led me to Dr. Layla Africa, which is my professor. I went to his home and learned from him exclusively regarding holistic health and wellness. So when I'm coming with the thunder, I don't have to come with the science. I know, I'm not going to waste my time. If you don't hear me, if you don't feel me, that's cool. But trust, you can go back to it. We can talk about it if you got questions, but I don't need to. It's very simplistic for me as a result of being a part of that. And you know, his wife was Dr. Melanie Stevenson. So she already told me where I was gonna be in this space, and I can't wait to see her again, talk to her again, help her see what she said and what's going on around here in these streets. So, wow, yeah. But anyway, I say all of these things with love, but I am extremely excited that I changed my palate consciously. I was not a child when I did this. And also, my parents did eat pretty clean. Ultimately, they didn't grow anything of what they were eating, but my parents really ate, pretty clean. My stepmom, she cooked pretty clean as far as, vegetables was going to be there. It was always going to be a meat. We had fruit in the house. We had, the things that were necessary and the basics. My parents in general, my grandparents, my mom, my dad can cook as well, my stepmom. Um, they were very creative with the basics, and I think that that's how I was able to withdraw things, even though I was one of those picky little kids. I didn't eat too much of anything when I was younger. I liked beans and cornbread. I had to put sugar in my beans, y'all. Anyway, I just have a lot of compassion for the children that didn't get that opportunity to ever sway off, and their parents are on processed foods, and then they are on processed foods.